Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? Have you ever wished that you could go back in time and talk to a younger version of yourself and tell that 20-year-old or 15-year-old or 10-year-old or 5-year-old some things that would make their journey easier, things that you had to learn through experience and maybe that took you a while to learn? So about a couple of years ago, I made a list of 15 things that I would tell that younger version of myself in order to make life easier. Things that sometimes are still hard for me to remember now. And it's a list that, can be a little emotional for me to look at and talk about. But anyhow, number one, you are enough. You're a person, you have value just because you're a human being. Just by existing, you are enough. You don't need to live up to anybody's expectations. Number two, it's okay not to be perfect or to know all the answers. And that's something I struggled with and still struggle with sometimes, is that perfectionism clause. And there's some trauma in my background of just not knowing things and feeling very inferior or not worthy or worthless because of that. Number three, ask for help. When you don't know how to do something, when you just need help, ask for help. And once again, it's one of those things that was very difficult for me to do, sometimes because I felt like I wasn't worthy of help or that I should already know how to do things. Number four, don't ever tolerate abuse. I tolerated a lot of abuse in my time. It wasn't worth it. Five, don't ignore red flags. What you see is what you get. And those red flags are there for a reason. Six, anyone who rejects you isn't worth a second glance or a moment of your time. I wasted a lot of time trying to get people to like me or trying to change people's minds. Just not worth it. Seven, don't ever change to please someone else. Be yourself. If they don't like it, they can go screw themselves. Sounds harsh, but let me tell you something. You don't like me, you can go screw yourself. It's okay. 8, practice a lot. There's been times that I didn't practice enough, but the benefits of practice, whatever happens to be, are worth it. 9, there will be times when you're tempted to put your hobbies and your passions down for a while. Don't. Make them priorities. I can tell you from experience, I put some things down, like role-playing, like bass guitar, like music, and I regret it. Make them priorities. The things that you're passionate about, the things that make life worth living for you, make those priorities. Number 10, find your people. They are out there. Doesn't have to be everybody. But there are people out there that are your people that you connect with. You connect with organically for whatever reason. You think you have the same way of thinking. Maybe you think alike. Maybe there's something about them. You know what I mean? But find your people. They are out there. Don't think that you are alone, because you are not. There are 8 billion people on the planet. There's some people out there that are yours. 11, be straight edge. You'll thank me later. Your mileage may vary, but I found that trying to fix myself through substances, ended very badly. 12, you matter and you belong. And these are things that I still struggle with believing. But trust me, you matter and you belong. You're a worthy human being, and you belong here just as much as anybody else. Let's see, what else? Number 13. I love this one. Treat people how they deserve to be treated. They will identify exactly how they deserve to be treated. Trust me. And there are people out there that deserve to be treated in a particular way, and they will out themselves. Just letting you know. 14, when you feel like giving up, don't. There's been many, many times that I felt like giving up, and many times I did give up. It wasn't worth it. Don't give up. And 15, be compassionate with yourself. It's very, very easy for me, maybe for you, to be really hard on yourself. We are our own worst critics. And that voice inside my head that tells me that I'm not good enough, or I did things wrong, or I'm not worthy, or that I'll fail, all those things, it's more critical than anybody else. I have a friend that said, if you talk to me the way I talk to myself, I'd have to kill you. And yes, people in my past have been hard on me. Not as hard as I've been on myself. Be compassionate with yourself. It's okay to be human. So those are 15 things that I would tell myself if I could go back in time and grab that kid and say, hey, listen, it's going to be okay. What's your list like? This list is actually in the description below, but I'm not telling you till now because otherwise you're just going to read it and not watch this wonderful video. So yeah, these things are really hard to write, hard to learn, and sometimes it's a list that I really need to read more often because it's hard to remember these things, as I go through life because of past programming and all that kind of stuff. Anyhow, have a good one, kids, and tell me what your list is like. Tell me if this made any sense.